Hi everybody, welcome to our book club and welcome to my new library. I'm so excited. I've been moving things around in my office and making space. So this is a lovely space to come to you with my book club every month. So I hope you enjoy. I hope it's not too cluttered. These are a lot of my favorite books in here. So anyway, this month we're going to talk about Andy Warhol Was a Hoarder by Claudia Kalb, and this was a really fun summer read and I loved this book. It probably doesn't have any real educational value in it besides the fact that it was really interesting, and she kind of went over several high profile people that may have had mental illness. And she talked about Marilyn, Monroe, and Howard Hughes, clearly Andy Warhol, Princess Diana, Abraham Lincoln, Christine Jorgensen, Frank Lloyd Wright, Betty Ford, and a few other people, and how she went about discovering or assessing the situation that they have lived through and how they may have been impacted by mental illness. Marilyn Monroe may have had multiple personalities, and we have all seen the movies about Howard Hughes. He was OCD. Andy Warhol definitely was above a collector. He could certainly have been hoarding. Abraham Lincoln had depression. So some of these things clearly had an impact on these celebrities. Unique talents and gifts, if we may call that. What she says is this book is an evolution in how we think about mental illness. And she used historical records and interviews with leading mental health professionals, biographies, and other specialists. And it provided a captivating window into their lives. And I always say we're all one nervous breakdown away from becoming a hoarder, which may have been the situation with Andy Warhol. But the truth is that we all wrestle with odd compulsions and emotional fireworks at some point in our lives, and how that is dealt with really has an impact on how we live. But so like I said, there were a lot of people mentioned in this book, and there were some really fascinating things that she came up with through her research. And it is a fairly thick book. It's over 300 pages, but it was a very fast and quick read. I was captivated by every part of it, and every single person that she talked about had a lot of really interesting information on. So it wasn't boring in any sense of the word, and it was just really, I learned so much about these people reading the book. But Andy Warhol was clearly the most interesting one to me, just because he did have a tendency to hoard. And I was in Pittsburgh a few months ago, and I so happened to go to the Andy Warhol Museum, which there had a lot of the things that he had collected in his apartment. And one of the things that he had in his apartment that was really truly fascinating was his time capsules, and he collected 610 of them. And as far as I understand, that he had one box per week, and whatever he found collected, he just put stuff in there, labeled it, and then put it away. And they were basically packed with over 300,000 items. At one point, he had so much in his apartment that you literally had to climb over things to get in. When Sotheby's was contracted to catalog his estate, which happened in 1987, they found 175 jars of cookies alone. So I can only imagine what treasures they found in his apartment when he passed away. It must have been like super interesting. In the book, she says, collectors delight in showing their stuff, and hoarders tend to keep their stuff under wraps. And based on stories about Andy Warhol, he was probably hoarding. He was more interested in the chase of finding the whatever item he was looking for. A lot of the stuff he had in his apartment wasn't just junk. He had, expensive lamps, and he was clearly an artist with a lot of paintings and collectibles and furniture and things that were very expensive. Newsweek declared his state the biggest yard sale ever when it happened, and it sold for over $25 million worth of stuff. So once again, this book was just a really fun read, and it made me think, sometimes I meet people and they feel like, oh, everybody has it better than I do, and everybody's smarter than I am, and everybody, has more potential than I do. But this book actually gave you an insight into some of these celebrities' brains, if you can say that, just based on interviews and biographies and recollections of, historical data of what had happened to them. And I beg to differ. I think that they probably struggled a lot with what was happening to their brains at the time. So once again, this book is just an inspirational book that tells you that there are so many people out there. They're overcoming their brain-based challenges, and they're accomplishing amazing things. They're thriving in their own space. They're becoming amazing human beings, and I like to believe that you can too. So if you like to share with us what are some of the things that you would like to accomplish that we all know you're capable of, leave us a comment, send us an email, tell us in our Facebook group, but let us know, how are you going to do something to impact maybe just one life. It doesn't have to be the world like these people did, but just impact one life. I really enjoy coming to you every month with the book club. I hope you're enjoying it too, and I'm always up to, comments, questions, concerns, hate mail, hopefully love mail too, but let me know what you're thinking. So anyway, I'll see you next month. Thanks. Bye.